just got off with CNN to discuss the latest with Prince Andrew. Yesterday's statement from Buckingham Palace, there have been a lot of questions around what exactly this means, what it means for his daughters, and the monarchy moving forward. Going back to the statement released last night are some important distinctions here. The first one being that His Majesty has initiated a formal process to remove the style, titles, and honors of Prince Andrew. While publicly, as of yesterday, he is known as Mr. Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, and he's been removed from the peerage rolls. He still technically has his titles because this is a process that involves the government, royal warrants or letters of patent. And there's some chatter among the House of Lords who are a bit upset about how this all went down. Some questioning whether the king has the absolute power just to remove someone from their peerage roll. That's a sentiment I've seen a lot since the news broke. Question of if someone born into the family, born a prince, can just have it taken away like that. What does it mean about this very special bloodline? Are royals just normal people? And while that's kind of what they've tried to push with modernizing the monarchy, obviously it's not to the point where they want people to think that the royals have no place in modern society or a working monarchy has no place. I've also seen a lot of people bring up the line of succession, which Andrew is still on there. He's still on there as the Duke of York, because recall, as of right now, he has agreed not to use the title anymore. The reason this hasn't been changed is because this takes Commonwealth nations to come together and make a decision. It impacts them and their different lines. So it's a very involved process. I'm not sure it's one that the king wants to start while there are already questions among some of the remaining Commonwealth countries if they even want to be in the Commonwealth. In terms of his daughters, Beatrice and Eugenie are still princesses. That is because of a 1917 letter of patent by King George V. Can't be understated how unprecedented this is. Last time something like this happened, it was when princes were stripped of their titles because they pledged allegiance and served Germany during World War I. We're still hearing that the plan is for Andrew to move to Sandringham. One of the reasons is that this is a private estate owned by the monarch. It's not part of the crown estate. The king can choose to fund Andrew's lifestyle and put him up if he wants. It's also 100 miles outside of London, which gives everyone a bit of space. As a reminder, Sandringham is in Norfolk, which is where William and Kate were gifted Amner Hall by the Queen, and they lived there for a couple of years when their children were young. To be very clear, Buckingham Palace says in their statement that Prince Andrew has denied all allegations against him. What several outlets have reported is that palace sources are saying that there have been too many errors in judgment by Andrew. It's time for something to be done. That's why this is happening. There are still calls for investigation into Andrew, whether it has to do with his ties with Epstein or his time as UK trade envoy or to that alleged Chinese spy. And there are calls to understand what the palace knew, what senior royals knew and when. While this is clearly being framed as one bad apple, I think, if nothing else, the last few years have taught us, and really most of history, that the elite, the powerful, will protect their own. How deep does this go? More to come.